We look at Africa today and see a continent on the move. We see skyscrapers reaching for the heavens in bustling cities from Lagos to Nairobi. Roads are being paved, connecting villages that were once worlds apart. Technology is connecting a new generation, with smartphones in hand and dreams in their hearts. The statistics tell us a story of progress. More children are in school than ever before. More businesses are opening. More opportunities seem to be knocking on the door. It is a narrative of growth, a tale of a continent rising from the ashes, ready to claim its place on the world stage. But what if the real story is one we cannot see? What if the challenges we focus on, the infrastructure, the economy, the politics, are merely symptoms of a much deeper problem? We spend our time diagnosing fevers while a cancer grows silently within. We celebrate the construction of new buildings, but we ignore the crumbling foundations of our shared values. Africa is not dying from a lack of roads, electricity, or buildings. No, Africa is suffering from a deeper, more insidious crisis. It is a collapse of mindset, a breakdown of morality, and a loss of meaning. This is the unseen enemy we must face. This is the conversation we need to have. It is a conversation that goes beyond policy papers and economic forecasts. It touches the very soul of our continent. It asks us to look past the gleaming surfaces and into the hearts and minds of our people, especially our youth. What do they believe? What do they value? Who are their heroes? The answers to these questions will define the future of Africa far more than any new highway or tech hub ever could. We are facing a battle not for territory, but for the very character of the next generation. So let's begin. Let's talk about the real crisis. It's not a story you will read in the headlines or see in the development reports. It is the quiet, creeping erosion of the principles that hold a society together. It is the normalization of what was once unthinkable. This is not a problem that can be solved with foreign aid or new investments alone. It requires a revolution of the soul, a revolution that begins with a single powerful choice to redefine what it means to be successful, what it means to be a leader, and what it means to build a nation. Imagine a young person in Africa today, bright, ambitious, and connected to the world through social media. But too often, the loudest voices say, "Get rich or die trying." This message is a dangerous education, redefining right and wrong. Where are the guardians of morality? Their silence is deafening. Africa's biggest enemy is the belief that corruption is success, a crisis of the heart. Africa's youth are our greatest treasure, brilliant, passionate, and full of potential. But their promise is being misdirected, trapped in a web of toxic narratives and false role models. We risk raising a generation of giants with feet of clay, powerful yet dangerously unmoored. The normalization of evil is now a mainstream project, broadcast into the minds of our youth. These channels have become pulpits for a new, twisted gospel, where the ends justify the means. What was once shameful is now celebrated as cleverness, and online fraud is rebranded as smartness, a hustle to be admired. This is a quiet catastrophe, a reprogramming of conscience unfolding in plain sight. We invest so much in educating our youth. We send them to schools and universities to acquire skills. We want them to become brilliant engineers, talented doctors, sharp lawyers, and innovative tech entrepreneurs. We rightly believe that these skills are the tools they need to build a better Africa. We celebrate their academic achievements and their technical prowess, seeing these as the keys that will unlock a prosperous future for our continent. We push them to be the best in their fields, to compete on a global stage, and to bring home the knowledge that will drive our development forward. But we have forgotten the most critical element of their education. We have focused on filling their heads with knowledge while neglecting to fortify their hearts with character. What happens when you give a brilliant mind powerful skills but no moral compass? What happens when a person knows how to build complex financial systems but does not believe in honesty? Or when they know how to code advanced software but have no empathy for the user? The answer is simple and terrifying. Their skills cease to be tools for building and become weapons of destruction. A skilled accountant without integrity does not build a stronger economy. They devise clever ways to embezzle funds and hide corruption. A talented lawyer without a conscience does not defend justice. They find legal loopholes to protect the guilty and exploit the innocent. A gifted engineer without a sense of duty does not build safe bridges. They cut corners on materials to pocket the difference, endangering thousands of lives. In every field, skills without a moral foundation become a curse, not a blessing. They amplify our capacity for harm, turning our most promising citizens into our most effective saboteurs. This is the precipice on which we stand today. We are on the verge of unleashing a generation of highly skilled, highly educated, and highly dangerous individuals upon our own societies. We are handing them the keys to our future without first teaching them the sacred responsibility that comes with that power. As Pastor Alex wisely warns, without a moral compass, our skills will become weapons of destruction. We must ask ourselves, are we training architects of progress, or are we sharpening the tools for our own demise? The answer will depend on whether we finally choose to build the character of our youth with the same passion we use to build their careers. Africa's youth are our greatest treasure, brilliant, passionate, and full of potential. But their dreams are threatened by toxic narratives and false role models. Instead of being guided by integrity, they're taught shortcuts and compromise. We risk raising a generation adrift, talented but without a moral compass to guide them. Evil is now mainstream, shaping the minds of our youth through music, social media, and politics. The new gospel glorifies deceit, teaching that the ends justify the means. Online fraud is celebrated as cleverness, bribery as business, and exploitation as survival. Language sanitizes wrongdoing, making corruption seem normal, even admirable. Compassion is seen as weakness. Neighbors become rivals. This constant messaging convinces youth that integrity is outdated. They're taught to navigate a world where morality is inverted. The result? A generation reprogrammed to accept deceit as reality. This isn't a passing trend, it's a quiet catastrophe. The collective conscience of a generation is being rewritten before our eyes. We invest in our youth's education, hoping skills will build a better Africa. But we neglect character, forgetting that skills without morals are dangerous. A brilliant mind without integrity can weaponize knowledge, embezzling, exploiting, or endangering lives. In every field, skills without ethics become a curse. We risk unleashing a generation of highly skilled but morally lost individuals. Are we training architects of progress or sharpening tools for our own demise? The answer will define our future. Without a moral compass, our brightest become our greatest threat. We must choose. Build with character or destroy with skill. Once, youth aspired to heal, teach, and build for the common good. Now, many dream of politics, not to serve, but to steal. Public office is seen as a shortcut to personal wealth, not national progress. Chop your own has replaced service. The treasury is a buffet for the powerful. Corruption is rewarded, and the quickest path to respect is through government coffers. The noble dream of leadership is twisted into self-enrichment. Young people aspire to join the system, not fix it. This is how a nation devours itself, one corrupted dream at a time. The public purse is no longer sacred, it's a prize. This betrayal erodes the very foundation of society. This mentality infects every corner of society, homes, schools, even places of worship. Children now dream of looting, not leading. At an age of innocence, they see theft as the fastest route to success. The state is a vault to be cracked, not a home to be built. The crisis is spiritual, not just political. Laws alone can't fix a collapsed conscience. When money is the highest value, honesty and justice become worthless. We have failed when our children's heroes are thieves, not servants. This is the ultimate betrayal, teaching the next generation to aim low. The government money mentality is a spiritual poison threatening Africa's soul. Amid crisis, a new movement rises, defiant, hopeful, and resolute. Pastor Alex in Africa 2030 declare, "Enough of corruption, enough of sacrificing our future." The movement knows you can't build a nation with broken people. The solution targets the heart and mind, not just skills. Mindset detox camps help youth unlearn toxic lies and rediscover integrity. This is a revolution, not a suggestion, a clear choice between collapse and renewal. One future is built on shortcuts, the other on character and the common good. Africa 2030 is a grassroots fight for the soul of the next generation. Only a renewed mindset can build a renewed continent. The line is drawn. Our future depends on which side we choose. Africa 2030 unites character and competence. True excellence demands both. Trade plus Morality Labs teach skills and integrity side by side. Graduates master their craft and their conscience. The Mentorship Field Corps connects youth with role models of honor. Mentors, farmers, teachers, business owners show that success doesn't require compromise. A faith-integrated curriculum weaves ethics into every subject. Students learn history through the lens of service, business through ethics. Moral development is central, not an afterthought. This holistic approach prepares youth for more than jobs. It calls them to purpose. We're building a generation that values how they work as much as what they do. Ultimately, the battle we are fighting is a battle of narratives. The current dominant narrative defines success in purely materialistic terms. Big houses, flashy cars, and overflowing bank accounts, acquired by any means necessary. This hollow definition is the engine driving the moral decay we see all around us. The Africa 2030 response, therefore, includes a massive media campaign aimed at completely redefining what it means to be a successful African. We are using storytelling, music, social media, and film to elevate a new set of heroes and celebrate a different kind of achievement. We are changing the conversation and changing what our youth aspire to. Our campaign shines a spotlight on the stories that are often ignored. We celebrate the entrepreneur who built their business slowly and honestly, choosing integrity over quick profits. We honor the civil servant who resisted the temptation of bribes, choosing to serve the public with dignity. We amplify the voice of the artist whose work inspires hope and unity, not division and greed. By making these individuals the new celebrities, we show our youth that true success is not measured by what you accumulate for yourself, but by the value you create for others. We are making character cool again. This redefinition of success is critical because it changes the goalposts for an entire generation. When success is redefined as service, integrity, and positive impact, the motivation to enter politics to steal disappears. When honor is seen as more valuable than wealth, the appeal of corruption fades. We are giving our youth a new, more compelling vision to strive for. A vision of a life that is not only prosperous, but also meaningful. We are telling them that their greatest achievement will not be the money they make, but the legacy they leave and the nation they help to build. This is the heart of the Africa 2030 response. It is a declaration of independence from the tyranny of materialism and a return to the values that truly build great nations. As Pastor Alex often says, we are not raising job seekers, we are raising nation builders. A job seeker asks, "What can I get?" A nation builder asks, "What can I give?" By fundamentally changing this question in the hearts and minds of our youth, we are not just fixing a broken system, we are creating the architects of a new, more hopeful, and more honorable African future. What are we really building with all these camps, labs, and mentorship programs? We are forging the architects of a new Africa. Our vision is to cultivate a new kind of citizen, guided by a strong moral compass, rejecting corruption not out of fear, but from conviction. True wealth is the peace that comes from living a life of integrity, even when no one is watching. We are building the people who will have the strength of character to create and sustain a new Africa for generations to come. The Africa we envision is built on character, not connections. For too long, who you know mattered more than who you are. Now, integrity is our most valuable currency, and a good name opens doors. We want faithful nation builders, people who work patiently for lasting change, not fast money. This is the Africa we are building, a continent defined by the strength of its character. Africa 2030 is more than a social movement. It's a spiritual battle for the soul of our continent. We believe true transformation begins in the heart, and that only God can heal our deepest wounds. We stand against corruption, fake pastors, and leaders who exploit faith for personal gain. Our hope is in God, who revives nations and restores purpose to a lost generation. The time for waiting is over. Africa's future is in our hands, not in London, Beijing, or Washington. We must rise, create, and build with honesty and integrity. You do not need to scam to shine. Your brilliance is in your capacity to create and innovate. The future is now. What will you do with it?